If you're looking to start a YouTube channel in 2022 and 2023 and you don't already have a bunch of fancy camera gear laying around because you're not a photographer or you're not a videographer, the best place to start is usually the camera that we all have in our pockets, which is an iPhone. Android users, sorry to throw shade at you. While iPhones have incredible cameras on them for video, and it's something that Apple even knows and is doubling down on in marketing campaigns in recent years, there are a couple things you need to know about filming with an iPhone for YouTube videos to level them up just a bit and make sure that your videos are looking nice and crispy for YouTube. In this video, I'm going to show you how to get footage like this out of your iPhone. So if that sounds interesting to you, go ahead and stick around to the end of this video. What's up guys, it's Josh. I am a filmmaker and video strategist based out of Orange County, California, and this channel is where I share tips and tricks for telling your story online with video content. So if you clicked on today's video and you're looking to start filming stuff with your iPhone for YouTube, you're probably in the infancy stages of learning YouTube video production and how to tell your story on YouTube and get more views and more likes on your videos. A huge aspect to that is creating an engaging and awesome thumbnail. And I know from firsthand experience from starting out with YouTube, this can be a really daunting and scary task, but it doesn't have to be. I've put together a completely free resource called my YouTube thumbnail template guide. It includes tips on how to create an engaging and enticing thumbnail for people to click on, as well as 3 completely customizable drag and drop templates in Canva where you can change the color, the text, and everything and just swap it out for your brand colors and your channel theme. So if that sounds helpful to you, the link is down below in the description. So the first tip I'm going to give you today for getting higher quality videos out of your iPhone when filming for YouTube is to make sure you're filming in 4K, but not only just to make sure you're filming in 4K, but to make sure you're filming from the back camera on your iPhone, not the front camera. A mistake I see a lot of people doing when they're filming YouTube videos on their iPhone is they're filming it vlog style in the selfie mode with the selfie camera and often looking at themselves while they're filming. Not only do you not want to be looking at yourself while you're filming because that becomes very distracting for the viewer when they're watching, but also the sensor and the image quality on that selfie camera is nowhere near as high quality as the back camera. This also goes for the telephoto zoom if you have one of the Pro iPhones and the wide angle zoom that's included on every iPhone. The highest quality sensor and image quality is going to be on the main camera on the back of the iPhone. This has the largest image sensor and therefore is going to have the best dynamic range, the best overall image, and it's going to look the best for your YouTube videos. Another perk of this is since you are filming with the back of the iPhone, you're not going to be tempted to look at yourself. I even catch myself looking over here to my monitor that I have. It takes a lot of practice not to look at yourself while you're filming. You want to be looking directly into the lens because that's going to be making the most direct eye contact with your audience. If I was glancing off here to where this monitor is, you guys would be like, what is he looking at? Why does he keep on looking over there? Again, another perk for filming with the back of the iPhone is you can look just directly at the lens and you won't get distracted and look at your face. Real quickly, let me go ahead and show you how you make sure that your camera is in 4K and 24 frames a second in your settings. You want to go into the settings app right here and you want to look up the camera. Once you're into camera, you can see right here where it has video formats. Do record video at 4K 24 frames a second. If you have an older iPhone, you may not have 4K, but if you have an iPhone made within the last couple of years, you're gonna have 4K on there. Another thing you wanna make sure that you do is go into formats and make sure you have most compatible checks. The high efficiency codec is meant to save space on your iPhone, but the caveat of this is that you can't really edit this in any editors, not even Final Cut, unless they changed that recently. So make sure you click it in most compatible. This will take up a little bit more space, but if you're filming on your iPhone for YouTube, most likely you're just filming on it and then dumping the footage onto your computer to edit. So do most compatible. It'll be the highest quality and it will also actually be able to be edited in your editor. Tip number 2 is to make sure you're filming in a bright area. So as you can see right now, I'm in my basement and it's not a bright area. That's why I have this giant LED video light, which I have talked about before in another video. But the reason why this footage down here shot on the iPhone looks so good is because I have this giant LED light source flooding the sensor and making sure there's lots of light hitting that sensor. Something to know about iPhone camera sensors and just phone sensors in general is that they're very small, and smaller sensors look great in ideal conditions, but they don't typically do that well in any sort of unideal low light situation or any situation where there's not a lot of light hitting the sensor. If there's not a lot of light hitting that sensor, you're going to see a lot of noise and compensation that the camera is trying to do in order to make up for all of that lack of light, and it ends up with a really muddy and not that great looking image. A good way to combat this is to make sure you're either filming outside, by a window, or with an external LED light like I'm using right now. I'm aware that if you're watching this video, you're probably not in the market to be buying an LED light because you're just trying to film on your iPhone. But if you do have an LED light laying around, or you have access to one, or if you want to invest in one, it is a great way to make sure that if you're filming talking head A-roll shots like this, that the light isn't constantly changing. That's another thing that can kind of be a dead giveaway when you're filming with an iPhone, is that it's constantly changing the lighting and adjusting to when the sun is going in and out. But for most people, just filming next to an open window or outside is going to be a great way to make sure you're having great quality in your iPhone videos. Here's a quick example of what it looks like filming outside and also by a window. And here's an example of filming inside in a less than ideal lighting situation. And then lastly, here is an example of what it looks like filming in my office with a light and then also without a light. The last tip I have for filming on your iPhone is to use some sort of external mic. This can be a lav mic or a shotgun mic. Any mic you plug into the iPhone is going to sound a heck of a lot better than the built-in mic. The built-in mics on the iPhone are pretty good for taking calls and stuff, and when it comes to video, they're not really the greatest, and you will see a noticeable difference in sound quality if you plug in something like the Rode Video Micro, or even something like I'm using right now, the Rode Wireless Go. If you're doing a lot of shooting outside, something like this lav kit is a great option, although it is a little bit on the pricier side. If you're filming inside in a setup like this next to your computer, you can plug in your USB Yeti mic and then just record that separately onto your computer in GarageBand or Audacity or another software, and then you can just sync that up in post-production with your iPhone footage. One thing to note is if you do want to use an external microphone plugged directly into your microphone, such as this Rode Wireless kit or the Rode Video Micro, you have to make sure you have the right 3.5mm adapter. For starters, most iPhones don't have the headphone jack, so you have to use a dongle, and then from there, it is a dongle that goes to a headphone thing, which is outputting audio. So you have to get an adapter that changes that outputting audio into an input. That way, when you plug in your 3.5mm mic, it's sending an input signal into your iPhone rather than an output signal of audio. I know this can sound confusing, but it's really not that confusing. It's just one cord you have to buy, and I will link that in the description below. I know audio isn't the flashiest or most fun thing to be talking about, but this video filmed right now on this iPhone is way more engaging and way more enticing to stick around and watch from an audience retention standpoint than if it was like this, where now we're using the internal mic on the iPhone and it sounds okay, but you can tell a noticeable difference between that and then this microphone that I'm using that's plugged into my camera. Again, you can plug this mic directly into your iPhone, or you can also use something like a Blue Yeti or another external microphone. Either way, using an external microphone is really going to up the production quality of filming on your iPhone and make sure the audience sticks around until the end of your videos. So I hope those 3 tips for filming YouTube videos on your iPhone are helpful. And again, if you're starting your YouTube channel and you're confused about stuff like thumbnails, I've actually created a free resource for that, and that is in the description below. Please comment and like this video if it was helpful to you, and make sure to subscribe for new videos like this every single week. And until next time, I will see you in the next video.